have only two questions. What did you leave in this world, and what did you take away? This past year I've learned something new, and it's been really special to me. But it all started in Williamsburg on a missions trip. I learned two things, and how they came about was these two questions. What did you leave, and what did you take away? And now these questions were focused on our missions trip, but really I think it can be applied to our entire lives. What did we leave in this world, and what do we take away from it? And what I felt like I did, was chip off just a little tiny piece of God's heart and leave it with the people in Williamsburg. And that was something really special to experience. And what I took away from Williamsburg, and what I hope I take from life, is that love is simple and God is faithful. Now, to break that down, love actually is simple, and it took me a long time to figure that out. I used to think it was Jesus plus something, but it's not. It's just Jesus. Jesus plus nothing. And that was really special for me to find out, that I don't need to be anything extra other than what I already am in Christ. I don't need to add on to anything, but I am who I am in Christ. And I don't need to search around to find that. And the second thing I learned is that God is faithful. It took me several months to figure this out. Honestly, I had been reading Psalms that said God is faithful, and I believed it. But sometimes I didn't understand the things that God asked me to do. There was a lot of things that God told me to do throughout these past months that were hard for me, that were difficult, that were awkward, that were uncomfortable. And I didn't enjoy doing them, to be honest, but He led me through it all. And I didn't understand at the time. I was kind of blind to what He wanted me to do. But through that, He led me. And then He led me to a mountaintop and showed me that His love is faithful, and He has led me through all of this to a place where I can see. And He's faithful in every moment to incorporate into my life, to teach me and to grow me. But not only was He faithful in each of those moments, but He was faithful before I was even born. He was faithful to the point where He died on a cross for me, because He saw me in my sinful state, and He saw that I wouldn't make it to heaven. I didn't make the cut. And He said, I want her. And so what He did was, He planned it all out, and He died for me on the cross 2,000 years before I was even born, before I was even a thought in anyone else's mind. Love is actually pretty simple, because through all these months I've realized that God is faithful not only yesterday, but the days before that, and the months before that, and the years before that, all the way to the cross. And it turns out the cross is pretty simple too. God wanted us to live with Him, so He died and He paid the price for us. And all we have to say is yes. That's as simple as it gets.
We spend time with our friends, we get to know them really well. We spend time with God, we get to know Him really well. The good consequences of that is that we have more faith and trust in what He's doing in our lives.